I want to ask you something, and I want you to sit with it and answer it honestly. Are you the kind of friend that people pray away? Before we get into talking about how we do not want bad friends, we do not want toxic friendships, we have to take some time to introspect and ask ourselves, have we shown up as good friends for other people? Have we shown up and shown out for the people that we care about the way that they want us to? Have we done the work of actually calling ourselves good friends? Hi, my name is Jubilee and I'm your host. Welcome to Conversation with Friends. Jubilee, and if it's your first time here, welcome. And this podcast is exactly what it sounds like. Real honest conversation about motherhood, womanhood, evolving, becoming her in real time. So get comfortable, grab yourself a glass of water, whatever it is that is your vice, grab it. You want a glass of wine, a glass of champagne. Listen, hey, you want a mimosa? Get it. Get comfortable, because today's topic, we're going to be talking about the kind of friends that I want in my 30s. I know there's a lot of conversation around like toxic friendships, jealousy in friendships, friendship red flags. And honestly, I've come to learn that jealousy is a true emotion, like a true human emotion, right? I think jealousy becomes a problem when you're threatened. Instead of being inspired, you're more like threatened by someone's success or your friend's success, or you're threatened by whatever it is, or you just genuinely don't want to see them succeed. That's where the problem starts, right? And also, I know there's a lot of conversation, like I said, around toxic friendships, about friendship red flags. Are you the friend that people are trying to pray away? Are you the friend who people are thinking this one is a toxic friendship? Are you the kind of friend that people are thinking she is the number one red flag in our friendship? Oh my God. And then sometimes you just have to introspect. Take some time for yourself, introspect, and ask yourself, like, am I a good friend? Am I showing up for the people that I care about the way that they want me to show up for them? For me, in my 20s, I had so many great friendships, so many amazing, wonderful friendships, so many long friendships, right? And a lot of them I kept on feeling, or kept on in those moments pouring into, even when they did not pour into me. I remember one of my particular friendships for sure is everybody else kept on like saying like, oh, this person is not good, this person is not kind to me, this person is not this, and I couldn't see it. And I don't know why in that moment. Well, we're going to discuss why, but in that moment I couldn't see it because I kept on feeling like this person has been my friend for a very long time. I took the definition of loyalty as sticking beside the person through the good, the bad, even when they're not getting it right, as opposed to loyalty can also appear as fear of losing someone, because especially when you've had friendships for a very long time, like if you've had a friendship like for over a decade, sometimes honestly, it's very difficult to walk away, like any romantic relationship, right? It's very difficult for you to walk away from those friendships because there's years of trust built, there's years of memories, years of, years of stories, like just years invested into it, and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, we're growing together, we can get better. But then for me, a lot of those friendships, and especially one of my biggest friendships, I realized that we were loving each other. We were truly loving each other, but we're just loving each other from different capacities. You're giving 100% of yourself into the friendship, but then the person is giving their 100%. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not giving the 100%. They're giving the 100%, but it's not just the 100% that you think you deserve, or it's not the 100% that you want to get from someone who's your friend, right? And so in those moments, especially in my 20s, I just kept on pouring myself into other people. I literally will pour until my cup is empty. And even when I had that empty cup, I will crush that empty cup. I would like, look at it. I want to lick in there. I want to take it out and continue to pour into my friendships. And now in my 30s, and with the help of therapy, I've come to learn that you cannot pour from an empty cup. But not just that, also, you need to start showing up for the people who show up for you. You cannot keep showing up for people who do not show up for you in the same capacity. You cannot keep pouring into people who are not pouring into you in the same capacity. And this applies even to motherhood, right? Like you cannot pour into your family, you cannot pour into your kid, you cannot pour into anyone around you if you're not able to take care of yourself, if you're not able to make sure that you're okay. So recently I had a conversation with my mother, and if you know anything about Nigerian moms, then woo child, you are in for it. She took me by surprise because she and I were having a conversation, and I was telling her about like just how it's it's so challenging being a mother, because you need to be there like constantly for everyone, and you need to be everything to everyone all at the same time. And then she said to me and referred and gave me the reference of the airplane, right? Which she said when the oxygen mask comes down, they always say to you to first put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on anyone else, even your child. They say put it on you first before you put it on that person. She said that's how mothers are. Like, you need to take care of yourself so that way you can point to your child. And I said, hello, preach, mother, preach, preach, preach. No, but seriously, so it is with friendships as well. In order for you to be a good friend, you have to pour into yourself. But not just that, also you cannot be the one pouring into someone constantly and then they're not pouring into you at all. Like, it's so important to be able to take a step back and reflect and be like, hey, like, is this a one-sided friendship? Like, am I pouring into you and you're not pouring into me? Or am I doing the heavy lifting in this friendship? And it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way at all. So I made a list. I'm gonna pull my phone just because I made a list of just some of the things that I personally feel like I want to see show up for me in my friendships in my 30s. And I'm hoping that some of these resonates with you, and you can let me know in the comments, what are your like non-negotiables? What are your what are the things that you're saying to yourself, like moving forward, like in my friendships, I want this to be a thing that applies to me. All right, give me a second here. Let me find it. Also, before I jump into that list, I just saw a note that I wrote to myself that I made sure that I wanted to talk about. So before I jump into that list as well, I do not want this to feel like an episode where we're just discussing kind of loss of friendship or bad friendships or not being a good friend or all of that, right? I also want that when you're going through this friendship or you're going through like hardships in a friendship, or you're beginning to see the things that you want, right, in friendships, right? It's very important that to note to yourself, right, in the words of my friend Joyce, leave room for magic, right? Leave room for magic in your life. Like, even when you're like, oh my God, there's no good friends out there, people are just toxic, people have just so many friendship red flags, keep room for magic. Because for me in my 20s, I had so many shitty friendships, but those shitty friendships led me to the great friendships I have right now in my 30s. Because my friends now in my 30s, woo, we locked in, honey. We are locked in. We don't play about each other. We don't play about each other at all. And we pour into each other so much. There's some part of my brain that feels like I'm not even looking for new friendships. And I did an episode with my friend Joyce where we talked about like adult friendships and just how to navigate them. But I just feel like I'm not even looking for new friends. Now I'm open to friendships if they come my way, but I'm not outwardly trying to seek them, only because the friends that I have right now, the way that they pour into me, and honestly, like, just women are just, I love women. I love women. Women are delicious. I love women. Women just make the world a beautiful place. But anyways, I wanted to just add that. I just wanted to add that little note there, that this is not like where we come and then we're just being sad all the time. These are things that, yes, we've had bad friendships. Yes, we've had toxic friendships. Yes, we've had a lot of friendship red flags. And we probably might be the ones who add the friendship red flags or the villain in other people's stories, right? But it's so important also for us to now know, like, what are the things that I want to accept? What are the things that I'm allowing in my friendship, just like any romantic relationship as well. So that way, when you're walking out into the world, when you're meeting people, you're like, I'm not going to do that. No, that red flag, right? You know what I mean? Because you can easily just, and before you even have years and decades and all of that of like pouring into people or investing into the friendship, you already know the friendship red flags that are just like, these are just the things that I will no longer accept, especially in my 30s now. I want like steady friendships. I don't want too much intensity. I just want steady friendships that feel good, friendships that feel nice, friendships that feel consistent, because I feel like steady leads to consistency. I do not want big explosive fireworks every now and again. I would just rather have, you know, a nice flow. So my first one was consistency over intensity, because I need friends who show up for me on a regular Tuesday and on a hard Friday. Like, I need friends who are not just there when I'm down, but friends who get to enjoy my wins with me, friends who get to like enjoy the process with me. We get to grow together. We get to kind of build together. We kind of learn from each other. We kind of consistently check in with each other. Like, how are you doing? Like, honestly, even a little hello, hi, hope you're having a great week, or even a have a great week. I really just feel like, just like any romantic relationship, I feel like consistency in a friendship just feels nice and feels good and feels very romantic too. Like, oh, come on now. Give me a little romance in our friendship. Give me a little romance. All right, another thing I wrote here is reciprocity without scorekeeping. Friendships that do not feel like I'm putting emotional overtime, right? Where it's just like, you know that your friends will show up for you. Like, every now and again, you're checking in, you're seeing how they're doing. When they're on hard times, you're there for them. And you know fully well that when you hit your hard time or when things are not going as they should, you know that these people are going to show up for you no matter what. That feels so good. Where you don't even have to overthink it, right? You don't have to overcomplicate it. Like, it just feels so nice. Like, it just makes you feel like there's a perfect balance in the friendship, and it makes you feel like you're not carrying the friendship alone, which can be tiring, honestly. Like, being the one to initiate everything, being the one to carry the friendship, being the one to say, hey, how you doing, and not getting a response of like 5 days later. Stressful, especially when I know you read it. But also, I feel like we're not entitled to people's time, because there's some people who will, like, you send them a message and then you see me on Instagram and then you're like, oh, you're online, but you have not responded to my message. Yes, I'm on Instagram. I'm doom scrolling. I think that it's important to be consistent and to show up for your friends the same way that they show up for you. Reciprocate the love, reciprocate like the steadiness, reciprocate the loyalty to it. And it's not like, and it shouldn't feel forced. It should feel so organic and natural, because like, this is your person, your sister, like, you know, your friends, you know, like just someone that you care about, like someone that you care about very deeply. All right, the next thing I wrote here is safety to fall apart. I don't need friends who only love the healed version of me. Then again, truly, I wrote that for myself. I was like, then again, I have a sister. So by the time I tell her everything, I don't even want to tell anybody else. Like, I'm tired. I want friends who I can feel safe around to like have conversations and not worry that I'm going to hear the conversation in Timbuktu, or I'm going to hear Ali telling, Mali telling, Healy telling, Police telling, Halas telling, Palace. I don't want any of that. I want friendships that just feel like I can really just fall apart in front of you and I'm okay. Like, it's a safe space. And the same way too, that I hope that my friends, when you're watching this, understand that I am their safe space as well, where they can like fall apart in front of me. They can feel comfortable in front of me. They can feel free in front of me as well. Yeah, that's like a big one for me. And another one here is growth without competition. I truly believe that jealousy is a human emotion, but I think it becomes tricky when you start to resent the person because they're doing well, or because they're doing better, or because they're going ahead in life and you're not, and you're not able to celebrate them because you truly just feel like, you know, you just feel shitty. That you're not progressing or whatever. And I think even the worst part is that you're feeling all of these emotions, and then instead of you even having these conversations, you're more like just resentful in the corner. And I've had a friendship where someone like literally looks me dead in the eyes and says to me, we're going our separate ways in our friendship. And this person said to me, oh my God, everybody's going to take your side now. And I said, what do you mean everybody's going to take my side? And she says to me, she's like, because everybody just likes you. Like, all our friends just like you. They really, really enjoy you. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, yes. What's not to like? What's not to like? Honey, what's not to like? Okay? But also, I'm like, maybe because I'm a good friend. Maybe because I'm not a shitty friend. Maybe because I show up when it matters. Maybe because I show up on a good Tuesday and on a hard Friday. Maybe because I'm consistent. Maybe because I am loyal. Maybe because I point to them the same way that they point to me, if not more. Maybe because I take my friendships seriously. See, that's the thing also. It's like, you cannot blame me because you're a shitty friend. Like, I'm sorry, this friendship is over. That's what I said to her. I said, this friendship is over, but it felt weird for someone to like just say that, because now I'm thinking to myself, and I was thinking in that moment, like, how many things has she been harboring in her head? How many things have she been thinking to herself, like, and not saying to me? Like, that's crazy. That was crazy work to me. I truly really believe that jealousy is a human emotion, but I think when it gets to a point where it's just like, if you feel like I am your competition, then we have bigger problems. Like, then maybe thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you because you were good to me at some point, and I'm not going to shit on you for that. But in this moment, you're not a good friend, and I need to walk away and save my mental health and my peace of mind. Honesty delivered with love. Okay, there's something I wrote here, and I said, I'm a big believer that kindness and honesty can exist in the same room. Because I think that sometimes people are just shitty and annoying, and people take talking down on you, people take like degrading you or belittling you as them being honest. Like, no, I'm just being honest. No, you cannot envelope your bad behavior by saying I'm just an honest person. I just like, or you cannot be shitty to your friends, or you cannot be saying shitty things to your friends and say, oh yeah, it's because I'm just an honest person. Like, no, that's not gonna count, because I think you can be honest and you can be kind with your honesty as well. You do not have to bring someone down. You do not, especially not your friends. Like, goddamn. Sometimes I always say, like, yes, I know that in the moment, sometimes like that person is bad to you in that moment, like in that moment right now, they're bad to you, but they were good to you at some point. So take that and be like, okay, this person was good to me. They're acting out now, which is crazy. I don't know why, but take that and say to yourself, like, they were good to me though at some point, to some degree. They were very good to me. They were very kind to me. So I'm not going to let that get in the way of whatever this is. And I'm also going to learn to walk away, because I cannot be, it's crazy. It's crazy work for someone to tell you multiple times. In the words of Angelo, somebody shows you who they are multiple times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times, and you keep sticking there. But then also it's easier said than done, right? Because it's like, I'm saying it now, but theoretically, when you really love someone, it's hard to separate, right? It's hard to walk away, especially when you have friendships or relationships that have lasted really long, right? You go into like the longevity of it. You're thinking to yourself, like, we had such a long friendship. I've known this person for a really long time. And you think that because of that, you owe them loyalty, you owe them a different level of grace, you owe them like a different level of commitment. But I'm a true believer that longevity means nothing when someone shows and starts to portray bad behavior towards you. Because again, just like we said in the beginning, it is so important for you to be able to pour from a cup that's full and not an empty cup. And if someone is taking away that joy, that happiness, that peace that you have, then it's time to walk away. Let's wrap it up. We don't need to be in bad friendships. It's 2026. We cannot be in bad friendships anymore. I'd rather be in my house alone, drinking a glass of wine, sad, and listening to Adele or listening to Olivia Dean than to, I don't know, be in friendships or be in spaces that I'm not welcome, or be in spaces that I am not appreciated, or be in friendships that I am not appreciated. A lot of these things that we've listed, and if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself like, oh my God, I don't do a lot of these things, or I don't show up in this way, it's time to take a step back and just ask yourself, how can I show up better for my friends? How can I show up better for the people that I care about? Like, how can I show up in my friendships better so that way they know that I'm there for them and to know that I care? And honestly, every friend is very different. So it's very important to actually understand your friends and their love languages. So there are some friends who want you to like talk to them every day. Like, they want like a phone call every day. You're on FaceTime. Like me and my best friend, we FaceTime almost every day. We love it. We enjoy it. Sometimes we're doing nothing. Honestly, sometimes I'm cleaning. Sometimes I'm taking care of the baby. Sometimes I'm breastfeeding. Sometimes I'm just doing my stuff around the house and she's just doing her stuff. And we are just on the phone. Sometimes not even talking, just being on FaceTime. Like, and for somebody, that's too much. That's too intense. For them, they're like, no, I don't want that. I want like, let's talk once a month. And that's okay. So you have to know the kind of friendships and the kind of friends that you want. Because if, for example, someone like me who is always on FaceTime with my best friend and she's comfortable with that, if I get into with my other friend, for example, she prefers like, call once a week or calls bi-weekly where we're able to just catch up on everything together and just talk about everything and those are kind of different friendship. Those are kind of different approaches to those friendships. And it's so important also to stick with the friendship that you think work for you. Because for you, for example, if you want a friend who you can talk to every day, then I see no reason being friends with somebody who does not like to talk every day, because they're going to be a problem, because then you're going to be getting upset that this person is not talking to you every day. Meanwhile, that person, that's just who they are and that's just how they like their relationships or they want their communication to be. So it's very, very important as well to see like, where do you mesh? Not everybody has to be your friend. And also when you go somewhere or to an event or to a place or you hang out with people, like not everybody has to be your friend, bro. Like sometimes somebody can just be your, I don't know, your coworker. They can be acquaintances. There are people that you see at events and you guys just have such a vibe and such a good time. And you go home and everybody goes to their house and it's over. Everything don't have to be ending in friendship. Like you see someone, the vibes are immaculate. They're in their best behavior. They're living the life. You're like, yes, these vibes are right. Sometimes that friendship is not for you. And it's okay too. Everybody doesn't have to be your friend. Everybody doesn't have to be your friend. So again, I feel like now this episode has gone from the things that I want, friendships in my 30s, to now me just preaching all the way about friendship. I hope that this episode resonated with you, because truly, 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 friendships, I believe, like romantic relationships, need to be nurtured, needs to be cared for, and need to be literally poured into in order to continue to grow. And let me tell you truly, friendships are literally the foundation of womenhood, because I really truly believe that women were not meant to do life alone, and women did not also have to do life with men. You understand? It doesn't have to be with a man. Okay, you can have your friends, you can have your girlfriends. Your girlfriends will hold you down. Man hater, man hater, man hater here. We got a man hater, man hater, man hater here. Honestly, get you some good, wonderful, funny, badass girlfriends, because let me tell you, women will carry you along. I've done a lot of episodes telling you about how my friends during my pregnancy, postpartum, the way that they carried me, oh my Lord. Words will never be enough. Words will never be enough. And I truly hope that the biggest takeaway is that you should see the things and find the things that you truly, truly want in your friendships moving forward. And because you lost a friendship, or because you're no longer friends with people, or you feel like there's a lot of toxic friendships or friendship red flags around you, doesn't mean that there's no room for magic for you to be able to meet wonderful, amazing people in your lives. The friends that I have right now are friends that I made in my 30s, and let me tell you, immaculate, wonderful, beautiful, amazing, like just the best. And especially Black women, the best. Okay, moving on. No shade. And I hope that also in this episode you take the time to like ask yourself, like, am I showing up for people the way that they want me to? Am I showing up for my friends the way that they want me to? Am I a good friend? And it's never too late, because being a good friend, honestly, doesn't require any course. It doesn't require any framework. It truly just means showing up, being consistent, and just pouring into the people the same way that you want other people to pour into you. Thank you so much for trusting me with your time. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this episode. And please send this to someone that you think needs to hear this. Share this with someone that you're like, immediately, this person needs to hear this. This is something that we're just talking about and they need to see more. They need to hear more on this. Share it with them. Thank you so much for everything. Take what you need, leave what you don't, and I will see you on the next episode. Have a great one.